Okay, this is Annie Sprinkles with your Daily Scoop, and I am giving you 2 scoops today because I'm making up for lost scoops. So today is March 8th. It's also International Women's Day, and I forgot to mention that in our earlier scoop of the day. So, I just finished up making my vanilla ice cream with the chocolate mint chips in it. Very delicious. So the other scoop for this afternoon is just going to be plain vanilla because I had a little bit of that left over and that's what I made. Okay, so there's your flavors of the day, and I also changed our view. For those who tune into the Daily Scoop and have never seen this beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork, it is the Harmony Quilt. I do have some nice pictures of it. I just happen to have this kind of draped over here so I can read the stories in the Daily Scoop. But I thought, well, I'm kind of on a roll here with that training that we did, or that I should say that learning session that we did with Dr. David Skiff around safety of safe haven in our relationships. And I thought, well, I did one of the questionnaires, so for those who tuned in and took the quiz, I thought maybe since I'm making up scoops, we could go through another one of these exercises that were given in this training that I attended that was facilitated by Dr. Skiff from Roberts Wesleyan College. And again, it's taken and used with permission by Sharon Hart Morris, and it's called a Haven of Safety Scale. So this particular questionnaire, and again it's I believe 12 questions. So folks that tuned in earlier and actually wrote these questions down and did the scoring, I'll give you a few minutes to get that paper and pencil again and go over the instructions. So this one is a series of questions on responsiveness, and it's the same scale. A 0 is never, a 1 is rarely, a 2 is occasionally, a 3 is more often than not, a 4 is most of the time, and a 5 is all of the time. And again, you're going to make 2 columns, and for each of these questions, you're going to respond with one of these scores on how this best fits how you perceive your spouse or your intimate partner. And then next to that score, you're going to score what you think your spouse or your intimate partner would say about you. And then these total scores get you to your summary at the bottom. So I will start again with the first question, and again, you're going to write down whether it's 0 never, 1 rarely, 2 occasionally, 3 more often than not, 4 most of the time, 5 all the time. So the first one is, even though we might have different views, my partner tries to take into consideration my perspective. So you're going to want to answer that, how you perceive your spouse, and then score the 0 to 5, and then score what you think your spouse would say about you, 0 to 5. Next question. I don't have to walk on eggshells around my partner. Next, when we are in conflict, my partner is still able to respond in a considerate way. Next, when making important decisions, I know my partner will think through my point of view. Next, my partner is understanding of my moods and feelings. Next, we are able to constructively resolve our relationship hurts. Next, my partner tries to understand my views and opinions, even when he or she may not agree with me. Next, I am not hesitant to share with my spouse because I am not afraid of the way my spouse will react or partner. Next, my partner is thoughtful and caring towards me. Next, it is not difficult for my partner to just listen to my perspective without giving me advice or lecturing me. Next, I can rely on my partner to react in a considerate and understanding manner. And the last question, it is not difficult for my partner to just listen to my perspective without evaluating or judging me. Okay, then you add those up, and of course if you're on the high end of 48 to a 60, you could just take this for what it's worth, quite honestly, but most of the time you believe that your spouse will consider your perspective along with her and respond in a considerate and caring way. So the medium kind of scoring, safe haven, 40 to 47. You probably perceive your spouse to respond, or partner to respond in a considerate manner, yet sometimes you may not. If you answered any of the questions with a 3 or below, consider why this might be, as that area of your relationship could be of concern. And then a 40 or below, low safe haven, answered mostly 3s and below. You perceive your spouse to not respond to you in a caring and considerate way. How do you respond when you feel your spouse is not understanding you? You might be stuck in a strong argument pattern that each of you defending your perspective and protecting your heart while attempting to get your spouse to understand. So that's just some thoughts and some things to think about, and those were just some of the questions that came up in this training, like I said, and then we had opportunity to discuss those. So, okay, there's part 2 of your Daily Scoop for March 8th, and this is Annie Sprinkles signing off. Thanks for listening.